everybody, my name is Jenna and today I'm here to do the Booktube Oldie tag. I can't exactly remember who created this tag, but I will find the original video and I will link it in the description box below, so definitely go and check that one out. There are 7 questions, I believe, so we are just going to get started. Question number 1, how long have you been part of the Booktube community? I had to actually go back through my channel to figure this one out because when I started YouTube, I didn't know what the channel was going to be. And then I found Booktube a little way in. So I figured out that in March of next year, I will have been on Booktube for 5 years, which is insane. Like 5 years of Booktube, 5 years on my channel talking about books. It does not feel like it has been 5 years. It really doesn't. And that's just, I actually, when I was answering these questions, I couldn't get my head wrapped around the fact that it will have been 5 years. Like 5 years, that's such a long time. When I started this channel, when I started my YouTube channel, I was in my very first year of uni. Well, sort of. I was in my first year of the degree that I ended up finishing, and now I've been out of that for a year and I've been working, and it's just wild to me. Question number 2, what was your biggest misconception before starting Booktube? That I would read books? I thought I was going to continue to read a large number of books every year. When I was younger, I easily probably would have hit like 100 books a year, no question. And then even during uni, I was still reading like a semi-decent amount, but as the years have gone on, I keep putting my Goodreads goal to 52 books and I always only just scrape through. I could definitely read so much more than that, I just don't. So I think that was probably my biggest misconception, is thinking that starting a Booktube channel would make me read more, when in actuality it's probably made me read less, which is not a great feeling, but I still love reading. I just find it a little more overwhelming now to try to keep up with all the newest releases so you can talk about them on the channel. Like, that's very overwhelming, so I'm trying to get over that, but it's still a thing in the back of my mind. Question number 3, how do you think Booktube has changed since you first started? There is a lot more drama on Booktube now than when I first started my channel. So I remember when I first started my channel, you could make a video, express an opinion, and be done with it. Nowadays, if you make a video and you express an opinion, if your opinion is different from other people, you're probably going to be cancelled. And I hate cancel culture with every fiber of my being. It's not productive, it's not setting a good example for anybody, it's terrible, it's pointless, and we need to cancel culture. So I struggle with that because I really do think Booktube has changed a lot, and I think that a big part of Booktube is obviously it has exploded. Since when I started, it was already like, it was really pretty big by the time I'd started, but now I feel like it's both bigger and not. So it's bigger in that I feel like there are a lot more channels out there, but it's not quite as big because all of the big Booktube channels, and I'm talking the really big ones, the ones that were big when I started were big before that. So I'm talking a Book Utopia, Haley and Bookland, Poland Bananas Books, Jessie the Reader, Catty-tastic, all of these people, they're not creating content at the same pace that they were 5 years ago. And that's definitely something that has changed a lot on Booktube, is that these big creators are no longer creating as much as they used to. I know Book Utopia in particular, I don't think she's posted anything in the last 7 months. And that's really weird to me because to me, it feels like Booktube is dying even though I know that it's not. It just, because those people have stopped creating or aren't creating as often, it feels like Booktube is falling a little bit off the wagon, and that upsets me. But the biggest thing for me is the cancel culture has become a thing in the last year or so, and I hate it. Cancel culture is making me scared to express my own opinion on my own channel, which is something, it's basically censorship. I'm basically having to censor myself from talking about particular things because I don't want to get cancelled for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's very hard to create honest content when you're so preoccupied with what other people will think, and I find that really difficult to create content with. Question number 4, what is your favorite Booktube memory? We're going to ignore all the terrible stuff that I just said. Now we're going to focus on the positives, and I couldn't pick just one because every time I would write something down, I'd go, oh, but that, oh, but that, oh, but that. So So I've got 3, technically 3.5, no, technically 4. The first and possibly my favorite booktube memory is becoming a critique reader for the Net Noni after posting a review of Raelia on my channel. That Raelia review is one of the earliest videos I ever posted on this channel, definitely one of the earliest booktube videos that I ever posted on this channel, and I was contacted by Lynette. She asked me to be a critique reader for her, and then I got to continue being a critique reader all the way through the remainder of the Madoran Chronicles and for the first book of the Whisper Weapon duology. And that was huge. That was my first introduction to working with authors, working with publishers. From there, my friend Casey and we created Dracora Week, Grey Veil Week, and Bardagia Week, and we got to do lots of videos based on her books. I flew to Sydney more than once to attend book launches for those books, and it was just an incredible time for me here on Booktube to be a part of that and to have that experience. It's something that I'm going to treasure forever. And then second memory that I have, I can't pick just one. So the second memory that I have is when Kat from Stars and Embers invited me to be a part of the Book Avengers, which is a skip video that she did over on her channel. It was actually one of the first times that Kat and I ever interacted. Like I'd known about her and I'd sort of watched a couple videos, but I'm pretty sure I've subscribed to her at that point as well, but we'd never really interacted before. And then she messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to be part of the Book Avengers? I think you'd really enjoy it. And I went, yeah, okay, sounds like fun. And then from there, obviously things have changed, and yeah, the Book Avengers was one of the first like proper skits that I was involved in, and on such a big collaborative scale, so I loved that. And my third memory, I promise I'm going to stop at 3, but my third favorite booktube memory is creating the Because We Can Readathon with Kat from Stars and Embers and Kat from Brews and Reviews. Meeting and working with those girls, collaborating on this readathon has just opened up so many different avenues for me. I love the readathon, I love working on those videos, but also like Kat and I the other night, we like watched Julie and the Phantoms together. So I feel like those friendships mean a lot to me, that readathon means a lot to me, and just everything in that little memory bubble means a lot to me and is one of the reasons why Booktube is so special. Question number 5, what are some of the books you were introduced to because of Booktube? Honestly, pretty much anything that was released between 2013 to 2015, I was introduced to because of Booktube, because I really fell off the reading wagon in those years and I didn't read much at all, so I didn't know about anything that was coming out. Like Sarah J Maas, no idea, had no clue. Who else? Any of the new Cassandra Clare? Nothing. Leigh Bardugo? Nothing. The Lunar Chronicles? Nothing. There was so much that came out between 2013 and 2015 that I had no idea about, and then I started watching Booktube and was like, oh, all these books sound amazing. But the one book in particular that stands out to me is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and it stands out to me because the first Booktube video I ever watched came up as a suggestion on my YouTube page, and it was Sasha from A Book Utopia doing some sort of time travel tag to promote Passenger, which is so weird to think, but yeah, that was my first introduction to Booktube, and that book stands out to me as one that I was introduced to because of Booktube. I did read it and I did love it, so it's a great time. Question number 6, what is something that frustrates you about Booktube? The drama. I am not here for drama. There always seems to be something going on. Some author we're supposed to hate, some creator we're not supposed to interact with anymore. Everyone's always spilling the tea about things, partnerships, sponsorships, book boxes, all of it. There's too much drama going on. And I find that I tend to get in trouble if I don't comment on things. Like people will sort of be like, oh, you didn't comment on that particular issue. No, I didn't, because I'm here to read books. I'm not here for the drama. And then question number 7, what is your hope for the future of Booktube? And honestly, to continue with my theme here, I just want the drama to stop. I just want us to go back to reading books and gushing about our favorites. Just because you don't, like, you can say that you don't like something, but you don't have to go on and on about why everybody else should hate it also. You can just say, I didn't like this book, and then you can move on and instead focus on gushing about the books that you do love. I think Booktube needs to return to this really positive place rather than being this awful, controversial place that nobody wants to be a part of. And there you go, that was the Booktube Oldie tag. I can't actually believe that I have been on Booktube long enough to participate in the Oldie tag, but I feel like considering I'm only 3 months away, or 4 months, 3 months? I can't count. I'm only a few months away from hitting the 5-year mark, so I feel like I count. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below your answers to some of these questions. Even if you are not a Booktube oldie, if you've been watching Booktube for long enough, then I would consider you a Booktube oldie and part of that community. So let me know your answers to the questions because I would absolutely love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.